Tyler's frozen.
Hey-o.
Well, we still got audio. Tyler's
Oh, no.
No, he's back. He's back.
Oh, no.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in on the NFL finale. The Super Bowl is weird to me also, though, because it's like it is the last NFL game, but it's so much more of just a thing besides that. It doesn't, like, I feel like Conference Championship Week is kind of like the last, I don't want to say real games, because, like, you get the trophy at the Super Bowl, but, like, without all the constant TV timeouts and, like, half an hour halftime show and all this stuff that makes it totally different. But we will get into all that. Right. And, even though it doesn't involve any of my teams at all, happy to see Super Bowl back in LA. It's not at the Rose Bowl or Coliseum back in like the 30s. But Tyler, how the hell are you?
Doing all right. Been a interesting week, going on a really weird sleep schedule. Fortunately or unfortunately, the Olympics are there to assist with that. I guess if I have to be awake, I can at least watch that. Although I also wonder if I'm just awake because of the Olympics. That's also a possibility. I don't know. Working with a new camera, had to get a new phone because I did attempted cellular vehicular homicide earlier this week. Dropped my phone out of my pocket, ran over it.
Good. Frame rate looks good. There was a little hiccup.
But all in all, man. Yeah. I'm still getting used to this, still kind of experimenting with the phone. But all in all, not doing too bad. Ron, how are you doing?
Doing well. Long week as well for me, again, with the sleeping thing that you mentioned. And also, I never know if it's just because I'm still watching the Olympics or, oh, thank God the Olympics are on. I can't sleep.
It's the chicken and the egg, man. Just you don't know. Don't really know what it is.
I can't call it, but I'm happy they're on anyway. And it's always, fun to watch some of them when you know they're live, where you don't accidentally see some result online. Like, if it's something I don't really care about, which is, a substantial amount of it, but it's still the Olympics, so I'm like, ooh, this is live? Yes, I will watch this biathlon. Why not? But we will get into all of that.
Yes.
And, of course, hit us in the comments, too, with your Super Bowl picks. We'll wrap up with that before we get out of here. Let's start with, as always, well, you know what? Let's go into side pieces first. And what did I do with that thing? There we go.
Okay.
And we'll just touch on some of the other odds and ends before we close it out with the Super Bowl. That is weird now that I can hear the audio on the stingers as they play, because then I think I'm getting a text. Like, how am I getting a text on the computer right now? I hear that sound. But let's start with baseball. Ooh, baseball.
Baseball.
Oh, baseball. Well, big old Johnny Heyman. Tyler, take us through this one. I have not got to read the whole tweet yet. I know some of the details behind it, but I haven't read his specific.
So, really, the crux of this is that Rob Manfred had a press conference. Was that Wednesday or yesterday? I don't remember which day. Just kind of giving the state of the union. I don't know how you want to put it, but he for the most part basically said that.
Say that word.
That's true. Yes. But one of the points that he made was that the owners still believe that MLB season will start when it is scheduled to start, which is already probably not true because pitchers and catchers probably should have already reported. So that's already kind of setting us back. You're looking at least 4 weeks worth of spring training for players to get really acclimated in game shape, and they're still not really close to any deal. So, I don't know how much of the press conference you got to watch with Manfred, but he talked a lot and said nothing, which I feel is a very Manfred thing to do.
Well, any great commissioner, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Unless you're Vince McMahon.
Again, this was kind of – that's true. Yes, that is true. But yeah, like again, he said they're not expecting any delays here. He did say that they have agreed to universal DH and eliminated draft pick compensation, which we all kind of knew the universal DH was coming. I mean, we've said it on the show. I like the pitchers hitting, but it's not a hill I'm gonna die on. Like this was kind of inevitable, so I just came to terms with that. Eliminating the draft pick compensation is interesting because they didn't fully explain, in what sense that's going to be an impact. Kind of like what I perceived it as is the teams are no longer going to be receiving compensatory draft picks. For like if a free agent leaves their team, like Trevor Story leaves the Rockies, as long as he gave him a qualifying offer before he left, they would receive a compensatory pick for him leaving. Seems like teams are no longer going to be able to do that. So now, if you got a big free agent leaving, you can't just like throw him a low ball offer and be like, "Oh, at least we're going to get that extra draft pick out of it." So that's what I take out of it. Although again, I haven't seen anything that's specifically said what that is. So, I guess a couple things are moving. Teams, both sides are supposed to meet again next week, so things are moving. I still feel like nothing's getting done, and I definitely don't feel like MLB is going to start on time. But that's where we are at.
And I do want to say, Tyler pointed this out to me, and I think it's great. There's one man out there not afraid to take a stand, and he was posted up outside Dodger Stadium, death to the DH. Hey, let your voice be heard.
What? Fighting the good fight.
America. Everyone has a right. I think, what is that sign even on? Like a pool skimmer? What is the stick there? I don't even know what that is, but it looks like a broom or something.
It's just a fence post. Fence post he grabbed on the way.
Yeah. Oh, hell no.
But hey, if you drive by Dodger Stadium, this man is out there. He's protesting.
He's probably out there, yes.
Honk if you don't like the DH.
Hey, shout out to him fighting the good fight. I think it's over, as Tyler said. We all kind of saw this coming. That was one of the things that seemed like even easier for, like, the MLB wants it. They want more offense. The players didn't really have a problem with it, especially when they did it in the shortened season. So I felt like that was not going to be like a big sticking point for that. But just another one of those unfortunate, the slow death of the weirdness of baseball.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it wasn't a hill I was ever willing to die on. So we all knew it was coming. So whatever. One of those things where it's like, if it gets baseball back, fine.
And yeah, I think they're realizing that more and more. Like, oh man, we really do need to play these games. Dang, okay. But we'll see what happens with that.
Oh, we get money if these games get played.
Oh, I forgot about the money.
The money thing. That's
not about the money.
Right.
We did have a huge busy day, uncharacteristically, really, in like most leagues, or maybe soccer, but they have like a month long, or in the summer, longer than that window of things to happen. And usually financially and things like that, especially in leagues with salary caps, it just doesn't like happen like that. But the NBA went off big time yesterday. And I do want to bring in on the let's see what we got here. Let's start some love to Canada Steakburger. On the Canada Steakburger Celebrity Hotline, we do have our Eastern Conference insider, Nick Superfan, CEO Nick, joining the program. CEO Nick, how the hell are you in Mission Valley?
Everyone. They have the pop I was going to have. But as always, one shot for Big Bro.
Booyah!
Booyah!
One shot for Low Bro.
And look, as we were just saying, the NBA, they get their business done. They got the Hennessy deal done, the spirit of the NBA.
And, of course, another shot to Sin City Cabaret in Philadelphia. Your stock value about to skyrocket.
Oh, we will get into that shortly. Because we did have it kind of developed way more rapidly over the last month when Harden was just like, I've had enough with this. Like, the team's kind of falling apart. He's technically hurt right now, although I saw on Inside the NBA, Charles was like, oh, he's not hurt anymore, dude. He just got traded. Watch. But we'll see. I know he sat out. He's not going to play this weekend. They're going to evaluate him. The new 76ers medical staff that he works with now. But yes, Ben Simmons gets his ticket out of the hellhole. For him personally, that was Philadelphia. And actually, look, if Harden didn't want to play anyway, I kind of feel like the Nets did score a little bit on this. Simmons has been an all-star. Yes, we know he's afraid to shoot a basketball, but he can defend 4 to 5 positions on the court depending on what the other team is doing. And he can, distribute and sort of, be the facilitator at least. Maybe he learns how to shoot all of a sudden when he goes to New Jersey. I don't know. But, hey, coming back, too, for the Nets to get Seth Curry, Andre Drummond. I know the shine's kind of come off him a little bit recently. And 2 first-round picks. But this was really the only way that Ben Simmons could be traded with his max contract that is still very new. And you just have to kind of wonder where Stevie Nash's head is at right now. Like, man, this we barely got this thing going like a year and a half ago. And we were supposed to win like 4 NBA titles. And now it's all falling apart. Kyrie can't only play in the road games. Harden doesn't want to deal with it. KD is currently hurt also. So I don't know. I mean, what do you think about this trade? Like I said, this is the only way they could do a trade. But long term, I guess, who comes out on the better side of this?
Boy, the better side of it. You want the real son, or you want like the real son?
We keep it real, son.
Okay, so the real is this. Who comes out on top right now? For sure, the strip clubs. The strip
in Philadelphia, yes, in the Philadelphia metro area. Please believe that.
Yes, they will definitely be coming out on top. But from a team perspective, I'm gonna like, all right. Yes, for Philadelphia, you got this monkey off your back. You got Ben Simmons out. He got what he wanted. You got what you wanted. Okay, now you got another superstar complementing that. But I'm gonna go out and say the Nets really came out because you got 2 first-round picks, which I'm pretty sure I don't know if they had them going into next year or the year after that. So now too, you can kind of load up on younger talent. You got a shooter in Seth Curry, which should complement at home games for the Nets because you're not going to have Kyrie. So that's one shooter you're not going to have in the court. Who knows? Ben Simmons might turn it around. I haven't seen anything in the media of like what he's been working on off the court in his own time. But hey, he might become a shooter now because shooters shoot. But he's got that window. He's got that comfort zone of like, hey, like I'm scared to shoot, but hey, I got a Curry on my team, shoot away. And then once you get KD back, that's like pretty much buckets right there.
Even before he got totally afraid to shoot at all, like he was still an all-star multiple times.
Yes.
Like he is a valuable player. I think for me, I feel like this year it's kind of a neutral. Like both teams needed to get rid of those 2 guys. And then in the future, I feel like the Nets are on the positive side because they want to keep KD happy. And with the picks and with Simmons, I would just assume that the longer he is out of Philadelphia, the better his attitude or mental health or just whatever could be. So you have upside there. But as far as this year, my only question is with Harden and Embiid, both of those guys do – I mean, yes, one is a point guard / shooting guard, and then Embiid is a center. But they both still need the ball a lot, so it might take some time to figure that out.
Funny you say that, too, looking at it. Like, I was under the impression that Tobias Harris would also be part of that trade talk, but the Sixers still kept him. So I'm looking at this might be another – like, he may be also that key factor within this – which I hope wouldn't happen, and I'm saying, oh man, I'm saying this as a New York fan that the Sixers don't fall into this power struggle between James Harden and Joel Embiid because you also have Tobias Harris who can be an asset on the court, both as a slasher and a second, I would say now a third or tertiary scoring option on the floor. But I mean, we'll see. But there still remains the fact that Ben Simmons needs to show up. I'm not talking about practice. We're not talking about practice. We're talking about him stepping literally in the facility.
Show his face.
Just be there, be present.
Maybe don't practice with the cell phone in your back pocket anymore. Maybe like, okay, you got what you wanted. Like, we don't need to do that.
If that happens, shots. Tyler, what do you got on it?
I got Wi-Fi issues, is what I got. But
what
I want to know.
Welcome to my game.
Through.
But what I want to know, and I want to hear this from both Simmons and Harden, being the key pieces of this trade here, is what's better, Philly cheesesteak or New York chopped cheese? I gotta know. What's better.
Well, I've only had one, so I got to throw it up to Bing Bong over here. CEO Nick, your thoughts?
I've had both.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I defer to you.
Man, all right. So
Chopped cheese insider.
So both are good. From a price perspective, I'll go with it. Yes, chopped cheese fills you up and it's cheaper. Cheesesteak, but the grease is so good, and it's just like, but it comes down to what sends me to the bathroom faster, and I'm gonna have to go with Philly cheesesteak. You send me to the bathroom faster, so as a New Yorker, chopped cheese.
All right, well, Bing Bong, I respect.
Like, I'm just saying, for the price point, like, man, chopped cheese, like $5, maybe $4 or $5. Like, you can't
with
beat
the
that.
Arizona iced tea. With the Arizona iced tea,
Tall can Arizona iced tea.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Looking at the trade too, who out of all, like, outside now Philadelphia and Brooklyn, who do you think came out as the biggest loser in it?
And that's why it's hard to say, because this year I think it's equal long term. I think the Nets came out better, but we don't. That's, you're speculating at that point. So it's just going to be weird to see what happens this year. As CEO Nick did point out, well, welcome to the all the fine strip club owner operators in the Philadelphia area. James Harden, a strip club legend in the NBA, perhaps one of the greatest of all time.
A connoisseur, one might say.
His number retired. Also, shout out to their Photoshop guy that put this up on the screen behind this talented young lady. But there was another funny moment last night. And again, KD is hurt, by the way. He's not even playing right now. Yes. But and he gave a classic, I don't know if you guys remember when Chuck asked him post-game some long question, and he was just like, yes. Didn't say anything. Ernie did a similar thing about what do you feel about your injury? Like, anything that you could tell us about, like, when you might be able to come back? And he just was,
yes.
No. And then didn't say anything for 25 seconds.
Got nothing to say.
No.
Keep it hush, 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 hush.
But they did have, because we are coming up on the NBA All-Star game, and the two, leading vote getters, LeBron and KD, as they will probably be indefinitely unless one of them changes conferences, have to do their draft. And of course, it came down at the end, and you could see in the build-up, LeBron was leaving it out there. All the inside guys were teeing him up, make a choice, LeBron, make a choice. So of course, it comes down to the last two guys on the board, James Harden and Rudy Gobert.
Yeah. I'm gonna need some size for sure. Yeah. I'm gonna need some size and some interior. Yeah. Especially with Giannis and LeBron James playing such great basketball this year. I need somebody to offset that. So I agree with Rudy Gobert. I agree. That worked out nicely. I mean, you can't let people run through the lane. Have somebody defending back there.
Oh man! Yeah,
LeBron couldn't even hide it.
KD didn't want to be there. I mean, he still cracked a couple smiles in the course of whatever the hour and a half long program was, but you could tell he was pissed that Harden forced his way out. He's hurt and not playing right now. I don't think he said anything really publicly about the Kyrie thing, but I'm sure he's not super happy about that, especially now because okay, well, there's my next best guy, and he's still not backing down on like I'm only gonna play the road games. So, and the rules could change. You know, it seems like nationwide the restrictions are easing up a little bit. We don't know. Like, imagine if they just get it like the day that Kyrie is allowed to play home games again. Durant's not hurt again, and then they're just both back out there. I don't know. I'm just again speculating.
You know, I kind of feel for KD just in this whole situation because coming to Brooklyn, there was this master plan in effect that we're gonna form our own big three, multiple championships on the horizon, and when it came down to it, how many games? I think I was checking ESPN. It was
Not
like
a lot that all three of them
16.
played.
16.
Three within those 16 games. So I was like, it worked, but I mean,
It would be even sadder if they were 16-0 in those games. If you're KD, you'd be like,
And what also threw me off was the post game interview after the Nets have now they've lost 10 straight now, and Kyrie had the audacity to say, as a leader in the locker room, like I'm just glad both people got their opportunity, got what they wanted. I'm like, leader.
Look, you need a leader to help. Look, road games are tough. You need a leader to help get through these difficult road games.
I mean, really, those are the tougher games. So you want a steady hand out there, just doing his thing, carrying the team.
Oh man, but I mean, we'll see. Like, there's now less than 26 games left in the season. I think we'll just have to revisit back at some point. What's the
It's hard to call who came out the best in this situation. I guess I would give the edge to the Sixers, although they did give up some other guys for this season. If Harden is able to come back relatively soon, I know we were talking before the show. Charles pointed out he's not going to be hurt anymore. He got his trade that he wanted. Watch, he'll start playing immediately. But he's not going to play this weekend. The 76ers medical staff now wants to check him out. Make sure
he's actually out scouting all the clubs in Philly this weekend. That's why he can't play.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, it. Yes, in the short term, I would say for sure the Sixers do look good on paper, and the fact that too they've been on a tear. So
Embiid is arguably the MVP right now. Also,
but just Philly's been on a tear. They've moved up massively in the standing in the Eastern Conference, and looking at the Nets with what they've acquired, it's still they're still the grass isn't green on the other side for the fact that they've lost 10 straight. And they've fallen back drastically in the Eastern Conference standings. So it's you got to see both spectrums. The Nets have an uphill battle. They got the pieces they need or the pieces they wanted. Now it's, hey, how do we dig ourselves out of this hole? And for one, it's getting out of this, win a game.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is it a bad thing they've fallen so far? Because now that just means they're gonna have more road games, which means they can use more Kyrie in the playoffs. So is it really a negative?
But also you have to make the playoffs, and if you're in a 10
they're gonna make the playoffs. Come on.
I'm
sure they will.
Also, a Sixers Nets at some point playoff series would be great, especially now.
Actually, you know what? It would be kind of hilarious if they got a home spot in one of those play-in rounds. And then lost because Kyrie couldn't play in the play-in round.
I was going to say, imagine
that would actually be kind of funny.
Hypothetical, again, Sixers-Nets playoff series somewhere along the way in the bracket comes down to Game 7 in Brooklyn, and Kyrie can't play. And they just lose by 30 points.
But
Harden just goes out there and balls out in the game.
But you have Ben Simmons. You got your savior, Ben Simmons.
Look, I mean, long term, if Harden just was not going to be down to, fit in with the program anymore, you have a lot of upside on Simmons. But I can just – KD's already a weird guy when it comes to on camera, as we were just talking about.
And Ash. He's
obviously pissed about he's got to do something with that haircut. But, plugs or something. You got money, dude. Come on. But you got to imagine how frustrated he is. I'm hurt. Harden just bailed on us. We got this guy, Simmons, that we don't even know if he wants to play anytime soon. and Kyrie that we only know can play half the time, depending on how many their breakdown is of road and home games left. So
he's been bamboozled.
He seemed a little, dead behind the eyes there, just a little bit. And then of course, Ernie, Kenny, Shaq, Chuck, and LeBron all going in on him with that setup at the end was just like.
All right, so who looks more dead behind the eyes, KD or LeBron? Because I see some of the post interviews of LeBron, like, oh man, he's going through the motions.
Look, I'm sure he's not super happy either about his current situation, and he's also going to have to be struggling just to get into playoffs at this point, unless something really gets going. But
Russ will find a shot. You'll be fine.
Yeah, dude. Russ, he's just waiting. He's been saving that energy for the second
Let
half.
Russ cook. Wait, no, wrong Russ. Damn it.
Wrong Russ, different Russ. Yeah.
Damn it. Let Russ. Oh, and then, like, last question, because I know we have the Super Bowl coming up. So, and I don't know about this now with the Sacramento Kings. I know they've made moves. But like, are they going to be in a perpetual like rebuild? Because I feel like they're trying to move pieces to win now, but I'm like, you still don't have.
So here's the thing. When you've missed the playoffs as many years in a row as the Kings do, it's not a rebuild. It's just that's a constant state of your team.
Yeah.
You know what? Just put the night scope bots on the court.
Like, I know I texted Ronnie and Justin about this kind of when the trades happened. Like, don't get me wrong, Sabonis is a dude. He is a dude, no question. He showed that in his first game with Sacramento, just killing it. But like, you had Halliburton, who like has outright stated, "I want to be here. I want to change the culture of this team." And Sacramento's response to that was, "Get the fuck out of here."
That was the death blow. Like, nobody changes the culture until we say so.
Like, I think those Kings
he's bigger than the team.
Like,
get him out.
That's what's made the Kings fans so mad. Is like, you have this really talented. Again, Sabonis right now. Sabonis is the better dude. Like, as much as I love Halliburton, right now Sabonis is a better dude. But like, you're looking for years. You don't know if Sabonis wants to stay in Sacramento.
I was going to say,
in a couple of years, he may bounce
pretty soon, right? Yeah.
I think he's got 2 years left. I think.
Like, do they even plan on staying in Sacramento, or is they're still like up in the air? Like, hey,
they just got a new arena.
But
they just got a new arena a few years ago. They're staying in Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
They were only going to leave if Ballmer bought the team instead of Vivek. So, but like, you got this guy, this young talented guy that like wants to like be there, which you don't get that in Sacramento. Nobody wants to be there, and they fucking ship him off. Like, it's just like that's such a fucking Kings move, man.
Like,
guys,
I said, that was a red flag for him in the Kings.
We can't have that here.
This guy's got a bad attitude. Like, this doesn't project well.
He doesn't show the attitude that we demand in our players.
But just so you guys know, I want to be your team. I want to change the culture.
Well, you're gonna get shipped out.
Get out of here.
Get out.
But I'm gay though. But I'm not gay.
Gone.
Gone.
Damn it. And don't worry. Listen, guys. I know baseball. We're working this thing out. But Ron, I got his tickets. We may have found the next best thing, the next best supplement. Let's go Toreros.
Nah, dude, nah. I can't. I'm going to go, and I'm going to root against them. Whoever they're playing.
They're playing Oregon.
Oregon, opening series. Ron is a Ducks fan.
Yeah, quack, quack, dude. You see the game?
Let's go, quack, quack.
Good luck, dude, with the Conference of Champions. But we'll
quack
see how
attack,
that
baby.
plays out. The quack attack is back.
Jack.
But I can't wait. I can't wait to see the opening game.
No, I know. I mean, Nick is
next weekend?
Hardcore USC fan.
Yeah, they play Friday at 6.
Friday.
So we're gonna see.
We'll see what happens. We got to get on to. I do want to hit the Premier League real quick, and then we have a fight night, or not a fight night. We have a pay-per-view coming up, and then of course the Super Bowl. Hey, what's going on back there with the Henning?
Oh, I'm going to log off real quick so I can kind of like get myself in the right mindset.
All right. Yeah, get it in.
I'll come back in for the Super Bowl because Super Bowl weekend. So stand by. Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
There he goes on the Tito Auto Body and Used Tires Celebrity Hotline. Thank you, CEO Nick. We'll talk to you shortly. As I alluded to, we do have Premier League this weekend, and let's take a look at the slate. Man United hosting Southampton. You just never know what kind of Man United you're ever going to get.
No.
I mean, that's just a stone cold fact. The guarantee is there are no guarantees. Crystal Palace go to Brentford. Brentford desperately needing a win. I don't know. How do you feel about that one? Because I feel like Crystal Palace has sort of held it together / at some points come on, and Brentford has sort of hit the wall of just like.
Yeah. I just think again, Brentford's an awesome story, but at this point in time, they are kind of dropping into relegation territory. Crystal Palace has been hitting their stride lately. Conor Gallagher and Edward up front have kind of been their big scoring threats. They're pulling off some nice wins. I would love for Brentford to win this one, but I think Palace is going to win it fairly easily. Also, fucking hell, Canada already scored.
Oh, dear. Amateur hockey is not our strong suit.
No.
Hey, it's happened before, okay? Miracle on ice. Let's just run it back for a third time.
Sort of, yeah.
But, hey, and also shout out to Chris Erickson. I mean, again, I don't know if this is something he should do, but if he thinks he can do it, like, good for him. And if, he's healthy and everything's fine, that is a big addition for Brentford. So
for sure.
That could pay off. It's just kind of a weird, like, I don't know. It just makes me feel awkward, like Brentford desperate to bring guys in. Ericsson, when healthy, all the last previous, decade, is a top kind of 5-team player. And now,
absolutely.
He can get a job with Brentford, and Brentford's like, oh, we'd be happy to have you. So I'm like, it makes me a little nervous. Just like, okay, well, I know other teams might not want to take a risk on you, and they're probably in a better situation standing-wise, but just be safe, bro.
Oh, U.S. responds.
We're going to clap back. We're going to clap back.
Yes, Brentford, please, for the love of God, have a couple guys keep a close eye on Ericsson when he's out there on the field.
That was terrifying what we saw in the Euros.
Yeah.
Moving on, Leeds goes to Everton. Is Leeds back? I mean, Everton sucks. And Leeds kind of back?
Leeds is not back, but Everton is probably going to get relegated at this point in time. I think they're 2 points out right now.
Man, it's just mind-boggling to me what has gone on at Everton. But Brighton goes to Watford. I don't really know how to call that.
Watford's been playing pretty good lately. Brighton, you know what you're going to get from them. They're just going to play like real strong defense.
Build a wall.
But Watford, like I said, lately they've been playing really well, even gotten a few wins. So that one might be tougher to call than thought. I'll probably still go Brighton, but I don't know. That could actually be kind of a fun game.
Watford at home, also giving a slight edge to however much that it's worth.
That's right.
The home team advantage.
Those West Midlands teams.
Yeah, in front of the Sir Elton John stand.
Right.
The next game, home field advantage is not going to matter.
Oh, God.
Man City will bring their steamroller into Norwich and probably flatten the entire town. But hey, how great would it be? Let's just in a beautiful, perfect world, Josh Sargent scores on Zach Steffen.
Ooh, that would be something. It's just a question of, is this going to be like one of those 1-0 games where City has the ball like 80% of the time, but it's just like not really trying, or is this going to be like a 8-0 like absolute murder?
Which they can do either way.
They can do either one.
Like Norwich, even if it's on the road. Like
yeah,
it's not the prettiest thing to have the ball all the time. USA versus Canada and not score, but it's different when you could just flip the switch and win at any point, like on any team. So if they do, it's like, oh man, they scored 1 or 2, probably could have scored like 5. Wouldn't really be surprised by that. But hey, come on, Norwich.
The scariest thing for City to me is like I mean, granted, we are coming off like a 2-week break, so it's, when I say the last couple games, that encompasses like a month. But like KDB is really starting to hit his stride for City, and that's terrifying. They've been winning with him just kind of like just there.
Hey, at least the Norwich boys are going to be rested because probably not a lot of them had to go back to their national teams.
That's true.
They just been chilling at home.
Yeah.
Man City, these guys are flying all over the world. I mean, the jet lag could be real. The next one, same kind of story. Liverpool going to Burnley. God. Liverpool has looked a little rockier, obviously, than Man City. I mean, no one's looked as just dominant as Man City, but Burnley is not good. Liverpool
and Liverpool will now have Salah and Mane back.
Yeah. AFCON is over. Shout out to Senegal also.
Senegal winning it. How about the ref telling Mo Salah to ref the game when he was complaining to him? That was
classic. That was
fantastic.
I actually texted that to friend of the program, Chris Ello from the Fan, because he does moonlight as a high school basketball referee, and I was like, dude, he just did that for referees everywhere. Because he's told me like the horror stories of just people like they're just yelling at you, like you're never right, or like for at least half the people you're always wrong. And yeah, that was pretty great. The referee's like, all right, then you do it, okay? Because I don't need this. I don't need this at all.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know who that ref was, but definitely shout out to him.
And then I think also I don't know if it was him or one of the other like assistants that got like a signed Mo Salah jersey at the end of the game. It's a weird look, but all right. Anyway, go Senegal. Aston Villa goes to Newcastle. Newcastle is just a forever extremely rich dumpster fire, and only one team's got Stevie G. Man in the sides. I like Villa. I like Villa all the way.
I'm with you on that one.
Wolves going to Justin and a.k.a. football, soccer historian, Lions insider, Spurs super fan. You still never know what you're going to get with Spurs either. They're definitely better than Wolves, but
they're better than Southampton. They lost to Southampton 3-2 the other day. So.
Yeah, I could see this being like a weird 1-1 game or something.
That I could absolutely see because Wolves, since they've come up, they like Brighton are just very strong defensively. They don't concede goals. They also don't score a lot, but they don't give up a lot. So, yeah, I could absolutely see this being 0-0 or 1-1.
And then, how are we feeling? Last game of Sunday, West Ham going to Leicester. Leicester has had some struggles, even at home, especially. Well, Lord knows West Ham has had some struggles at home. But they seem to do better on the road.
The fact this is on the road actually makes me feel a little bit better. Yeah. Look, West Ham hasn't looked great the last few games. The Kurt Zuma situation, West Ham just kind of seems like we're just going to plow through it. Like that Zuma's not really facing any repercussions.
Not a good look.
I mean, Leicester's a dumpster fire right now, man. Like West Ham has to win this one.
All right, so we're saying hat trick for Zuma. Only off the head, though. Off the head.
Yeah.
Don't use your feet.
Yeah.
No.
Please don't. Yes, three set piece headed. That would make West Ham like the ultimate heel team in the Premier League now. If Kurt Zuma went out and just got a hat trick.
You look. I mean,
by the way,
not was already making them the heel team when that next season comes out. Everyone's going to hate West Ham.
That's true. They'd be less of a heel with Nate as the manager than they are right now. Which, by the way, don't at all condone what Kurt Zuma did.
No, it's a weird situation too because, like I said, that's definitely something you should not ever do.
No, you should not punt your cat across your kitchen.
And also, it seems kind of like that, Antonio Brown, like chef situation. Like that was someone that was in his house all the time that put.
That's his brother.
Out. So maybe he had just had enough. He was like, "No, I got to tell the world."
It was his brother who also, by the way, has since been dropped from the team that he plays for. I think he was with Dagenham and Redbridge, and they dropped him on Wednesday.
Dag and Red, shout out to Dag and Red.
Yep.
Let's get into, before we get to the Super Bowl, we do have a UFC pay-per-view Saturday night. Nice rematch. And let's fire up for the Fight Doctor.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. The heavyweight champion of the world. It's time!
Hell yeah. Hey, shout out to them too. I mean, yes, I know it's not on Sunday because that would just be suicide, and also when they ever be on Sunday anyway, but giving us a pay-per-view and the Super Bowl on the same weekend.
You know what? This is one of the things you can always look forward to with UFC is they do always usually have a pay-per-view with a title fight the day before the Super Bowl. So it's kind of like one of their bigger weekends. Even though the fight's not in Vegas this year, they are going to be at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, which, of course, you know means that if it's in Texas, our boy D-Lou is going to be on that card.
Hell
For better or worse, because his last two fights in Houston have not been very good. But we'll get into that here. But, so yeah, this is being headlined, of course, with a middleweight title fight rematch here. Israel Adesanya defending his championship against Robert Whittaker. Adesanya actually won the title from Robert Whittaker back in October of 2019. Knocked him out in, I believe, the second round. Adesanya, he is a top pound-for-pound fighter in the world right now. He's only got one loss, and that's because he went up to light heavyweight to take on Jan Blachowicz, where the size difference was very apparent, to where Jan Blachowicz was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to take this guy down and lay on top of him. But, I mean, Adesanya is just a dude, man. I mean – 21 wins, 15 by knockouts. He had 75 wins in kickboxing before he went into MMA. I think he also had like 5 or 6 wins as a boxer before that as well. Just got some knockout wins over Paulo Costa, Robert Whittaker, Derek Brunson. This dude's an absolute machine. Rarely gets touched, uses his height and reach to a massive advantage. But Robert Whittaker is a dude too. Like it's kind of one of those cases where like if Adesanya wasn't there, Whittaker would probably be like a have a multi-year reign as champ. Whittaker, he's a guy that started as a welterweight, won the what they call the season of Ultimate Fighter. I think they called it the Smashes when it was UK versus Australia. Multi-time fight of the night, just real well-rounded fighter. Wrestling. He's most known for striking, but he can wrestle. He can do jiu-jitsu. I think he's got like a Hapkido black belt as well. This is the two best guys in the middleweight division going at it again. Since Adesanya beat Whittaker, Whittaker's gone on, beat Darren Till, Jared Cannonier, and Kelvin Gastelum. These aren't guys that back away from anybody. This is just going to be an absolutely exciting fight. I will say, since their last fight, I think both guys have gotten even better, which makes it really hard for me to bet against Adesanya to defend his title.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know, just the way Adesanya's come on super, so strong. Unless he just has an off night where he lets himself get caught. The way he just picks you off, it's just hard to get a good hand on him. And then you see the reach advantage. He's obviously very fast. This is tough. I don't know if it necessarily needs to be, minus 280 favorite. That might change before fight time, but I would still say Adesanya is the favorite. Obviously, he is the champ. I'd still take Adesanya in this.
I won't be. Well, I will be pretty shocked again, just because of how good Adesanya is and how little he gets hit in his fights. But again, Robert Whittaker, Bobby Knuckles is the clear number 2 guy in middleweight. It's just unfortunate who he's at there at the same time against.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be completely shocked if Whittaker won, but I would also be shocked if just Adesanya is so damn good and he's only getting better. Plus we'll see what kind of motivation he has, considering he just signed a new deal with the UFC that supposedly makes him the second highest paid fighter behind only Conor McGregor. So we'll see if maybe he kind of lets up on that, or if that motivates him even more. I don't know, but it's going to be an exciting fight. Like there's no way this is going to be a dull fight. This fight could end the first round. It could go 5. I couldn't really call either one, but there's going to be absolute fireworks. I think this is a must-watch fight.
I agree, and always cool too, especially when it is a rematch for a title. And like I said, just bonus that we're getting that the night before the Super Bowl.
Then we have the co-main event here, heavyweight title fight between our boy, America's sweetheart, Derek Lewis, taking on Tai Tuivasa. Derek Lewis, of course, the UFC knockout king, got his 13th knockout in the UFC in his last fight. I also can't help but think of the negatives of, again, his last 2 fights in his hometown have not been good. One of them was a win, but very uninspired. The last time was Cyril Gane, where he just looked like he didn't even want to be there. And weird. Then Tai Tuivasa is, he's a banger too. He's a guy, I think 13 wins and 12 of them by knockout. Neither one of these guys, like if you looked at the takedown average, you see Derek Lewis less than half a takedown per fight. Tuivasa 0. None of these guys are submission guys. Like, what it's going to be. You know what these two want to do. The thing that I'm worried about is this going to be like they just go out and swing right away, or is it going to be 2 guys just kind of like keeping their distance and walking around each other for 15 minutes? Like, I'm worried it's either going to be knockout of the night or the most boring fight where nothing happens.
Yeah, that is kind of my same concern, because if they do come out throwing, there is a chance that someone will just get cleaned out. But if they don't, rounds 3 through 5 is going to be tough to watch, because you guys like, let me catch my breath. Let me catch my breath.
I mean, and we've seen Derek Lewis is a patient guy. He will wait and just wait for that right moment to throw a big punch. Tuivasa, a little bit more aggressive. Like, he will just come out swinging a little bit more, which, again, that could lead to a very early knockout. It's what you always worry about when it's 2 big knockout heavyweights. It's like, okay, this is either going to be like fucking highlight reel for years to come, or everybody's going to hate this fight and never want to talk about it again.
Yeah. Either bombs landed or meaningless bombs thrown for the next 20 minutes.
But, if I got to pick, man, I can't ever pick against Derek Lewis. One thing about the heavyweight division I know we've talked about is it's like there's like 3 guys and then everybody else, and Derek Lewis is one of those 3 guys. Unfortunately, there's also a massive gap between him and the top 2. But, Tuivasa's, I don't even think he's ranked in the top 10. Like, he's kind of, this is his big fight. And, another thing I'll give Derek Lewis is when he doesn't show up, it's usually in those really big fights. I don't think this is a really big fight. This is just like, I want to fight, pay me Dana. Like, I want to get paid. I want to go out there and punch somebody. So I don't think he'll put that pressure on himself that he thinks, let's get to him. Because of that, I will go with Derek Lewis to win this fight.
Well, and at some point, you think he's got to want to really just put it all together as far as within his game and win in Houston in front of that Houston crowd. Not come out flat or, just kind of mince around. So hopefully this is the time. And also the Olympics are on right now, so I don't even know if I have to point that out. But.
Fuck what they talking about. USA.
But, like I said, I know we're going to get one of 2 things from this fight. I just don't know which it's going to be. I'm hoping it will be massive bomb, but it could very easily be 15 minutes of just dudes circling each other doing nothing.
Try not to fall down.
Yeah. But, other than that, it's outside of those 2 main events, it's not a spectacular card. It's not a terrible card. Like that third fight on there kind of interests me, Jared Cannonier and Derek Brunson. That's kind of like 2 guys that maybe have one last shot to make a title push in that middleweight division. I know both guys are kind of in their upper 30s, so definitely past their prime. That one interests me. And then, Bobby Green at the bottom, that guy's, he's been around forever as well. So, I don't think these undercard fights are terrible, but they're not exciting. But I do think the 2 main card fights are definitely worth the price of finding Russian Link.
Yeah, exactly. And again, circling back to our guy.
Hey, me and Dana White want to know who's streaming tonight.
So there are ways. There are ways.
The zoom in on the eye gets me every fucking time.
Let's close it out. And I agree with you completely, Tyler. Too. Just, I mean, to get those two nuggets of a fight, as a fan favorite in Lewis, and then a rematch for a title. That's enough to convince me to do the eye zoom in Russian link. So we will take a look at that. But of course, we do have Super Bowl 56 coming up on Sunday. And I think now's a good time to bring back in on the program. In fact, on the Nicholas Barrios Mobile Notary Public /known signing agent celebrity hotline.
Yeah.
CEO Nick, welcome back to the program. How are you doing now after multiple bouts with the Henny?
I want to kiss you.
I want to kiss you.
Not worried about the Cincinnati offensive line struggling.
And they will. But
yes, they will.
Let's take a look at it. Hey, Lake Show, stay true. We'll come back someday. Hey, like I said, LeBron was in higher spirits than KD. Okay, so
it's true.
Who really won the big three off? For now, it could get a lot worse than the Lakers.
Hey, let Russ cook. Wait, shit, wrong person, wrong Russ.
Wrong
Russ. Start to cook. Please start to cook.
Yeah.
Put in the microwave.
He's just shooting over the backboard now. He is mentally destroyed. At least, look, he doesn't have the Ben Simmons thing where he doesn't want to shoot, although maybe he could use a little bit more of that, because sometimes we don't need you to shoot. A lot of times we don't need you to shoot. But, hey, whatever. He's still out there gunning.
Ron, I know I sent you that clip. I can't remember, Nick, if I sent you the clip of him, that recent home game where as soon as they passed him the ball in the corner, the entire crowd started screaming no.
Yeah.
and then he threw up a shot anyways and bricked it. And I was like, I don't know what's worse, having your entire home crowd tell you no or trying to prove them wrong and then just bricking horribly.
Also, the complete opposite of the thing you always see in soccer where it's the crowd's shoot, and it's
right, have it.
Don't shoot from 50 yards away. I mean, it would be sick if you make it, but you're probably just going to blaze this into the second deck. But no, when your own fans are don't shoot.
No.
That's not good. That's not good.
Also, I did see the other day when they played the Bucks too. At one point in time, Giannis was on Russ, but not really trying to defend any shots.
Just daring him to shoot.
I was like, man, that's rough. That is rough.
Well, that's what Benny Simmons is going to be walking back into too. But
true.
Calling it now, MVP next year, Russell Westbrook.
For what team?
Yeah, I was going to say he's probably going to go to
the Shanghai Sharks.
Shanghai Sharks. There we go.
Okay. Maybe I could see that.
Bakersfield Jam resurrecting under Russell Westbrook.
Franchise player.
The Harlem Globetrotters. They never lose.
Occasionally.
They also make shots, though.
Yeah, that's true. Oh. Let's get back here to the task at hand, which is the Super Bowl.
56. Super Bowl 56.
56 in SoFi, back-to-back. Well, except for the off week, but they had the NFC Championship game and now the Super Bowl. I'm sure Ellie's got to be loving that. Although it is funny to see all the efforts they're making to sort of have people not know about how Inglewood actually is. Putting up sight walls and stuff like that. Don't go down that street. You don't need to go over there. No, come on.
I've passed through a few times. I mean, it's not that bad.
Passing through is different than walking around.
Yeah.
Well, I did have my experience in Santa Monica, and I was like, oh my God, why are the homeless so different here?
It's a different animal, but
different breed.
So far with the the media week and all this stuff, they have pulled out all the stops. I know they got people all over the place, different media people are up at UCLA, up north on the 405. They got people at the convention center, hosting all these big events, and of course all the parties and stuff that's probably going on tonight, tomorrow, or after the game. I don't know, but who are we liking in this game? It's Cincinnati +4. It's tough to call. I want to say, look, my heart wants to say Bengals win, and we've learned quite a while ago, don't doubt Joe Burrow because he might just somehow win. Like he won when he got sacked 9 times on the road. So there's always a chance with Joe back there because he just doesn't. Apparently, it's like immune to whatever the situation is at all. It's like, no, we're getting crushed. Like, why are you still going out there slanging it and like just letting people run you over? But he doesn't care about that. So I'm rooting for that. I don't like the Rams, but realistically, I want to say Cincinnati covers and loses. That's my pick.
Well, man, it's tough. That is tough.
Yeah, because I'm definitely in the same boat where it's like, obviously, like, how can you not root for Joe Burrow? You know, dude comes out there, balls out in college, balls out for a few games last year before getting hurt, comes right back and just destroys the league. Like, how can you not root for that? But at the same, like, he is defying reason. Like, there is no way he's like they should be winning with this terrible offensive line they have. The thing that I will say will keep them in the game, just like what kept them in the game against Tennessee, is that Stafford is not afraid to throw picks as well.
He'll give you one, especially you've never seen him in the big game like this. So
right,
I think he'll cough you up one. I mean, you still have to catch it. Like, you know, that's still a thing. But
I am kind of in the same boat as you, though. I think, like, even though Burrow has done it without an offensive line, like this Rams defensive line is terrifying. They can't, you know, if Cincinnati couldn't block Tennessee's offensive or defensive line, like, what are they going to do? You know, this Rams team that has like all pros on their defensive line.
Yeah.
I think Cincinnati will do a good job to keep it close for a while. I think eventually the Rams probably pull away. I will take the Rams to win and cover, even though I really would love to see Cincinnati win this.
Fair.
Tyler, I think I sent you what, 3 days ago or 2 days ago, what the Simpsons predicted.
Correct.
What they predicted, and
which has been debunked, by the way.
Yeah, that was a myth. That was a myth.
Yes. I was like, I mean, it's the perfect underdog story, you know, them like the struggles that, you know, Joe Burrow's hurt, came back this year, balled out. Record definitely doesn't reflect it because they were 10-7 this year, but throughout the playoffs, they gritted through. I mean, being sacked 9 times, you don't expect anyone to kind of like win a game.
I don't expect a guy to go back out there after the 5th.
Yeah, like, you know what? You guys figure it out. Someone else is my quarterback. It's garbage.
Oh, you're trying to kill me. It's like what was that movie? Not Another Team movie. Like how many more concussions does how many more sacks does Joe Burrows have left in him? But I mean, with the offensive line of the Cincinnati Bengals, I think in the early run you'll have to, especially with Von Miller and Aaron Donald rushing in, you'll have to. You can't trust one-on-one coverage off the snap because obviously they've proven they could break through. So you're gonna have to probably throw 1 or 2 bodies at him. The only thing though is you're still susceptible to Joe Burrow's getting just his shit kicked in. No. Granted to what you said, Tyler, Joe Burrows isn't afraid to sling it. Like ideally,
he's not afraid to get his shit kicked in.
Yeah,
no, that is not.
Perhaps foolishly, always keeps coming back for some reason.
I almost wonder if he has the Forrest Griffin approach, where Forrest was like, "I don't really get into a fight until I've been punched like 5 or 6 times."
Yeah.
You just made me taste my own blood. All right, boom, 4 touchdowns.
Let's do this.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
also USH took the lead against Canada.
Let's go.
Suck it, Canada.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's as an offensive line for the Bengals. Yes, you'll have to throw multiple bodies at Donald
for sure.
But it's at some point they're gonna get worn out. Burrows, I can say, I think we were just bullshitting around saying, hey, for entertainment purposes only, if you could say 3 sacks over under, and then you came out with saying what in the first quarter. Now I could definitely see that happening because it's just he's gonna have to like break the pocket and just be mobile, like what he did against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
Oh,
it was night and day.
I would put the over under of 3.5 of how many times will he have a set pass? Like, will he be able to set his feet and throw it?
Right. Stand.
Ooh, that's I like that. I like that prop bet right there. I'm pretty sure it'll be floating out there at some point.
I mean, Arkansas.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
But
That's true.
what you said, Tyler, I would definitely. But on the other end too, Stafford likes to sling it as well. So I probably say he'd probably have 2 picks in the Super Bowl. But I will still hold Rams winning and covering, just for the fact that both guys like to sling it. With the Bengals offense as well, we already know Chase and Ramsey are going to line up, and I guarantee there's going to be a safety coverage over the top, just in case you don't want to give anything up over 20 yards with Chase.
Well, they're not going to have to blitz anyone, so you're always going to have help somewhere back there.
Yeah, that is absolutely a concern. It's like I feel like this Rams defensive line could get crazy pressure rushing 3, and they could just drop 8 guys back.
As a McVay hater. Well, not a hater, but I just think he's still kind of overrated.
You're kind of a hater, but it's kind of but your reasons are justified, I think.
I will say this in his defense: the Rams usually every time I see them, they get off fast. Like they usually score first.
Yes.
And they're usually leading after the first quarter or halftime. So whatever that scenario is, if they do come out and jump out to like a 10, God forbid, like a 13-point lead or something like that. Then it becomes even more ridiculous, like trying to throw against that defensive line of the Rams for Burrow. He's going to be running they're just going to tee off on him.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the AFC Championship. They went down more than 2 touchdowns against the Chiefs, and Burrow was just like, "All right, cool, I got this."
That's the X factor. Like I said, Burrow apparently either feels no pain or doesn't care if he's going to be able to walk when he's 35 years old. So. He is an X factor. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, but for the Rams, Rams playoff, like their playoff story. Looking into it, it's like been somewhat of a roller coaster because we saw with the Buccaneers game. I for sure thought I was like, okay, like I know it's Tom Brady, but like the Rams are literally just taking a crap on the Buccaneers, and then out of nowhere it's like, hey, you know what? We don't really want to win this game, so. Here, Bucks, it's yours to win. And then toward the very end, they pulled through. And then in the championship game, they were down, and I was like, oh man, it's not looking good. And they come back. But then again, like I said, Jimmy G, it was the Niners. I can kind of see that happening as well. But roller coaster ride for both teams coming into the Super Bowl.
Got 2 4 seeds, so there you go.
Yeah, I know I've talked about it here before, but it is just kind of interesting how different the conferences have been in the playoffs, where it's the NFC is just like, all right, try to just don't screw up as much as the other team and you'll get through. Whereas the AFC is like, you got to pull some shit out of your ass to even be in these games. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens if Cincinnati gets out to a lead. Like, what are the Rams going to do then? Because I don't want it. I don't foresee Cincinnati ever letting off the gas, even if they're out in front. Like, they're going to be like, look, this is how we got here by letting Joe Burrow just throw to our 3 stud receivers like as much as he wants. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if Cincinnati gets out to a lead.
I almost wanted to go back to saying Cincinnati wins and covers, but
I'd respect the hell out of it.
No, I'm doing it. Change my bet.
I'm also not saying that I won't place a bet on Cincinnati either. I might place a money line bet on them. I don't even know.
Go Cincinnati. No, but before we get out of here, because I do want to see the end of that hockey game. On that note, I do want to bring up the medal count as of the time this show started.
Bum, 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 bum.
So nothing super shocking there. All the cold countries kicking ass. But, it'd be nice to beat China and the ROC. It's the Rock.
Ooh.
Rock Powell on the smile.
I don't know. They might have to change that name to something else now after the one figure skater got popped.
That's true. The figure skater, yeah.
What? No, Russia. ROC. No, we're COR, dude. I don't even know what that is.
I know. They just had to change their, like, they weren't even ROC at the last Olympics. They were like UAR or something. Like, they couldn't even compete.
Commanders in the next Olympics. We had to rebrand. There was too much negativity associated with our last 3 names.
Olympic team. That's all they're gonna be.
Yeah, just Olympic Federation of Olympians.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, nothing surprising. Germany, usually good. Norway, always really good in the Winter Olympics. Nothing too surprising there. Plus, all the like biathlon and alpine skiing events where Norway just cleans house. I know some people are a little bit disappointed in the U.S. Like, honestly, it's the Winter Olympics. Like, you should always temper your expectations for the U.S. in the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, let's just stay up there. Maybe flirt with top 5. I mean, it's unlikely.
Summer games,
stay in the
though.
top 10. What's up with Canada? It's cold there. You guys suck.
Right? Seriously, Canada, come on. 7 bronze medals? Weak as shit.
I'm impressed with Japan's like living in Japan. I'm like the only thing that I've come across sports wise out there, which is baseball, and I was like, all right, this is it. Oh, okay.
I know Japan's got some cold mountains up in the northern end. So
Yeah.
The one kid got boned on the snowboard thing last
yeah,
time.
he did. Yeah, he did. He really did.
First jump, I was like, is he going to come back down? Like, he went so high. Like, did he just leave the gravity of Earth? And then he's still, like, they give him, like, a low ball score. Like, even the, American announcers obviously
He was flipping out.
Yeah, they were rooting for Shaun White, just like everyone that's an American fan, and they were like, "Dude, that's bullshit!" Like, that was like the best snowboarding run I've ever seen. What happened?
Was that? I think it was Todd Richards. I think is who that was just losing his mind over that. Yeah,
I mean, China and Japan, they don't really get along so great. So maybe I don't know.
A little bit of history between those two countries.
Well, a little bit.
Also, so speaking of China, I don't know how much of the short track speed skating you've been watching. I'll just say this: there's been a lot of really, and I mean a lot of really weird disqualifications that have benefited China every single time in this Olympics. Like I'm talking like 5 or 6. I'm talking like 5 or 6 disqualifications that got China to advance to the next round. I'm not saying. 'Cause Lord knows the Olympics are the least corrupt organization out there. We all know this.
Of course.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Shout out to Roy Jones Jr. But anyway, we don't have to go down that road. We'll see. Like I said, just keep up there punching behind those cold countries. USA. I mean, I would be cool with the 6. And you got 4 gold medals. Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And let's just beat the crap out of Canada.
That's
they're
it.
the ones that we got to talk to all the time.
Right?
Our neighbors.
Yeah. Hey, look, I got no beef with any of the Scandinavian countries. Norway, Sweden, do your thing, man. It's all good.
Yeah, we'll see you in the Summer Olympics, guys. We won.
Exactly.
Well, Germany maybe a couple times. That's it.
Germany will see in the Summer Olympics, yeah.
I got personal beef with France. Just personal beef, though.
And we're whooping them, too. But I'm going to go in and watch this hockey game. We may be on there goes Charger Connor. Jeez.
Animal cruelty.
Animal abuse, dude. Animal abuse to put that on.
I wouldn't wish that on any animal.
No, that's not. He can't fight back, dude. All he can do is lick you. He doesn't even know how badly you're treating him right now. But we may be going on a short hiatus here. I do want to do some new stuff to the show. Still up in the air. We may do a show on Monday, but that will probably be the last one for a little while if we do. But if not, we love all you guys. I will keep.
I want to kiss all of you
when you come back, and we'll have Nick kiss all of you.
Yep.
He is pumping a ton of money into this.
Maybe we can make a little extra money by selling some Nick Kiss cards.
Ooh.
Oh, well,
just in time for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Being Ben Simmons' agent, I got VIP passes to Sin City Cabaret in Philadelphia. So you already.
There we go.
I think they cut that off as soon as he wanted out of town. They're like, no, dude. Harden is our new god now. And he will come in here and spend money with a smile on his face.
The Philly
Sourpuss Ben.
Are we gonna rebrand like the Washington Commanders? Because I think they're the way they're going. Yeah, that's where we want to be.
I mean, they kind of set the tone.
They don't need a rebranding; they need a reselling. Is what they need.
Yeah, probably true. But we'll keep you guys updated on that. Thank you, CEO Nick. Thank you, Connor. I'm sorry. Blink once if you're in danger. Of course, he has his back turned. Oh, he just blinked. He blinked.
Oh, he's blinking. He's blinking like crazy right now.
Yeah, I'm calling the Humane Society right now.
Yep.
Tyler, any last parting wisdoms?
No, yeah, like Ron said, we might do a show next week, maybe next Monday, just to recap the Super Bowl. But if not, thank you guys for tuning in. This isn't, goodbye forever. We're just taking a little break, getting some stuff figured out on our end. But we will be back. But Nick, thank you as always for jumping on. Thank you for funding the show.
2 words for you. Kiss me.
Hey, look out for the Nick Kiss cards coming soon. You guys know the drill. We love you. As always, talk to you soon. Keep the fire.